Hi, my name is Chuck Loeb, and I want to welcome everybody to an example lesson of my School of Jazz Guitar on the ArtistWorks website, the place for music education online. I'm really proud to be part of ArtistWorks. It's a great place. You can find it at artistworks.com, and chuckloebguitar.com is where you can go and check out more of my lessons and hopefully sign up to become part of the jazz guitar community that I have started, and check out my curriculum and see what I have going on. So for right now, I'm going to do an example of one of the lessons. The lessons are great because they're divided up into what we call bite-sized sets of information. You have, let's say if you're working on scales, you're working on soloing, you're working on chords, rather than a 90-minute video on all of those things at once. We take little pieces of it and give examples, and I play and I explain it. There's materials on the site like play-along tracks. There are many PDFs you can find of fingerings and tab. It's a really great resource for all the things you want to learn about jazz guitar. So let's get into it. I'll give a brief lesson. This is going to be about chord melody construction. I'm going to do a brief example of the song Like Someone in Love. I'm going to do it in the key of C. And I'm going to play the melody one time through, and then I'm going to explain a little bit about what I'm doing. So here we go. A 1, 2, a 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that's the song. It's an old standard and one that I've been playing for many years. It's a fun tune to play on because it's mostly in C and travels through the C major jazz progression that we're probably familiar with, and then it modulates to the key of A twice. First in the beginning half, it's in two halves, the end of the first half and then the end of the second half. Goes to A briefly and modulates right back to C. Now I'm going to use some pretty basic chord voicings at the beginning. I use just a C major 7 in a pretty standard format right here. It's 1, 5, 7, 3 is the voicing. And on my curriculum, I explain all the different voicings that are standardized so that you can have use of them. So I start there, and I go to an E7 chord. That's the next chord in the song. And I actually use it over a B because I want the bass line to walk down. Like that. Then I jump up and just play the melody without any chords. Then I go to D7 or a D chord over F sharp. And it's actually got a ninth in it too, so I call it D2 over F sharp. Right? The next chord I go to is F7, but I don't actually play the F in the bottom. I play this. It could be called a B7 as well, but it's an F7, 9, 13, sharp 11. It's very complicated. And here you can see that I'm barring across, grabbing this on top, and I have the 7th, the 3rd, the 13th, the 9th, and the sharp 11 on top. And you kind of can hear the root in your head. Then I go to E minor 7, A7, so that's a turnaround going to the D minor chord there. And then I just use a standard D minor chord. I go back to that same chord again, the F7. This time, I'm hearing it as a B7. So let me take it up to there again. Now, I want to explain that right there. All I'm doing is taking the D minor chord and playing it a half step lower and moving it up again. Then I go back to C major 7. And then I do a little bass line, right? That's called a little bit of counterpoint there. So I try to hold the chord on top and play the bass line. Now here's the modulation. Now what I did there, so I went, and I have an F6 with the 6th on top. I'm doing the 4th voicing for that. Big stretch there. It's a B minor 7. I'm going to A, so it's the 2-5 in A. Now I go to the A major 7, so I went up and grabbed the melody with my pinky all the way up there. Now I'm going to go straight to the second ending, so we shorten the lesson a little bit. I go to a diminished chord. This brings me back to the key of C. It's kind of it's a chord that works both in C and in A, so it acts as a bridge to bring us back to the beginning. Now, I know I put a lot of information in right there, but I just want to give you an example of what the school is like. We're talking about some fairly complex material here, but the curriculum goes from very beginner level all the way to advanced, and I try to make it incremental so that you can grab what you need as you go. And we've got some great students up there, some great stuff going on. I want you to please check it out, chuckloebguitar.com and artistworks.com. The School of Jazz Guitar. There's some other great teachers on there. My good buddy Nathan East, my bandmate in foreplay, John Patitucci, the amazing upright player, Howard Levy, Martin Taylor, an amazing guitar player, Paul Gilbert, amazing rock guitar player. There's many, many teachers up there. I urge you to go and check it out. So I hope to see you there. Thanks for being patient and watching this little video. And if you join up, I'll see you around campus. Thanks.